Politics. The word might make you think of boring speeches and endless news cycles. But here's the thing. Politics is about you. It's about the decisions that shape our lives, our communities, and our future. Understanding politics can actually be quite interesting and even fun. Think of it this way. Politics is like choosing the playlist for a road trip. The songs we pick will set the mood, influence our journey, and maybe even spark some arguments along the way. In America, the two main playlists are the Democratic and Republican parties. They offer different visions for the country, and understanding their differences is the key to being an informed citizen. Ever wonder what all the fuss is about with Democrats and Republicans? It's a big deal, and it can make a huge difference in how you see the world. It's like having two teams with different playbooks for how to run the country. Each team has its own strategies, goals, and ideas about what's best for everyone. Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. With a little bit of knowledge, you can easily understand the basics and even join in on the conversation. Trust me, this stuff affects all of us, from the price of your favorite video game to whether your school gets enough funding. It impacts our daily lives in ways we might not even realize. In this video, you will learn about their history, their key beliefs, and how they shape the society. By the end, you'll be able to impress your friends, and maybe even your parents, with your newfound political wisdom. You'll be more informed and ready to make your own choices when it comes to voting and participating in our democracy. So, buckle up, Buttercup. We're diving into the world of Democrats and Republicans, two political giants in the United States. But what really separates these two parties? Grab a snack, and let's break it down in a fun and easy way. Let's rewind the clock a bit. Both the Democrats and Republicans have long histories, full of twists and turns. The Democrats trace their roots back to Thomas Jefferson and champions of individual liberty and a smaller federal government. Democratic Party is the older one. It's established in 1828. It's one of the oldest political parties in the world. It is like that wise old grandpa who loves to tell stories about the good old days. The Republican Party, also known as the GOP or Grand Old Party, was founded in 1854. Their first big win? Abraham Lincoln in 1860. They were formed by folks who opposed slavery. Think of them as the new kids on the block who came in with a bang. Over time, both parties have changed and evolved, kind of like how your taste in music changes as you grow up. The Democrats, once the party of the South, embraced civil rights and social justice in the 20th century. They have traditionally supported working-class people. The Republicans, known for their pro-business stance, became increasingly associated with social conservatism. They have often favored policies that promote business growth and individual freedom. These historical shifts help explain why today's political landscape can feel so complex. Understanding the past helps us make sense of the present. Okay, enough history for now. Let's talk about what makes Democrats and Republicans different in today's world. What are the core beliefs that set them apart? You know how some people are all about sharing and caring, while others are more about every man for himself? That's kind of like the difference between these two parties. Democrats generally believe in a strong government role in ensuring social and economic equality. They are generally seen as the more liberal or left-leaning party. Democrats are often seen as the party of progress and social change. They believe the government should play a more active role in helping people, especially those who are struggling. Think of them as the party of we're all in this together. Republicans, on the other hand, emphasize individual liberty, limited government, and free markets. They are considered more conservative or right-leaning. Republicans are often seen as the party of tradition and fiscal conservatism. They're all about giving people the freedom to make their own choices and succeed or fail on their own merits. These are just broad strokes, of course, and of course, these are just generalizations. Within each party, there's a spectrum of views and priorities. There are plenty of Democrats who are more conservative on certain issues, and Republicans who hold more liberal views. It's not always black and white. In fact, the political landscape is full of nuances and complexities. People's beliefs can be influenced by their personal experiences, upbringing, and even the region they live in. And that's what makes the political dialogue so rich and interesting. It's this diversity of thought that ultimately drives progress and change in society. So next time you think about political parties, remember there's more than meets the eye. And that's what makes democracy so fascinating and dynamic. But these core beliefs provide a framework for understanding the parties' different approaches to governing. The big debates, where Democrats and Republicans clash. Now, let's talk about the core beliefs of each party. Democrats tend to support a stronger role for the federal government, especially when it comes to providing social services like healthcare and education. They also focus on environmental protection and social equality. Republicans, on the other hand, believe in limited government, with more power given to individuals and states. They focus on reducing taxes, promoting business growth, in defending personal freedoms. Now let's talk about money, honey. Understanding economic policies can be a bit like navigating a maze, but we're here to break it down for you. Democrats and Republicans have very different ideas about how to handle the economy. These differences shape the policies that affect our daily lives. It's like trying to decide whether to spend your allowance all at once or save it for something special. Each choice has its own set of pros and cons. When it comes to the economy, Democrats generally believe in using government programs to help the less fortunate. They support higher taxes on wealthy individuals and businesses to fund things like public education and social security. Democrats generally believe in using government spending to help create jobs and boost the economy. They see it as a way to invest in the future. Think of it like investing in a new video game console. It might cost a lot up front, but it could bring you lots of enjoyment and maybe even some resale value in the long run. It's about making a big investment now for potential benefits later. Republicans, on the other hand, prefer to keep taxes low and let businesses create jobs through the magic of the free market. They believe in minimal government intervention. Republicans think lower taxes encourage business growth and job creation. They argue that if businesses succeed, it helps everyone. They're like the kid who saves up their allowance for months to buy that awesome new game. Patience and saving are key. Republicans believe that by letting people keep more of their own money, the economy will grow naturally. So who's right? Well, that's the million-dollar question, literally. The answer isn't simple and often depends on the current economic situation. It's a debate that has been going on for decades. Both sides have their own arguments, and the best approach probably lies somewhere in between. Finding a balance is key to a healthy economy. Next topic is one of the biggest areas of disagreement. It's healthcare. Democrats want the government to play a bigger role, with many supporting systems, like universal healthcare, where everyone is covered. Republicans prefer a more private approach. They think the government shouldn't run healthcare, and instead, market competition should keep prices down. Both sides have a completely different understanding of healthcare and what role the government should play in this. This has been a major issue in recent decades. The next major topic concerns social issues and also highlights how big the differences between the parties are. Democrats often advocate for more progressive policies. They generally supporting individual choice. They support LGBTQ+ rights, a woman's right to choose in terms of abortion, same-sex marriage, and stricter gun control laws. Republicans lean more conservative here. They support traditional family values, are generally pro-life when it comes to abortion, and believe strongly in the Second Amendment, which protects the right to own guns. Who is right here? It is, as so often, an individual decision. Foreign policy is another arena where the parties diverge. Democrats often favor diplomacy and multilateralism, such as the Paris Climate Accord, while Republicans may take a more assertive stance on the world stage. They generally focus on strengthening the US military and assert a more America First stance in foreign relations. We close the clash of the parties with the environment and climate change, one of the hottest topics of our time, and it is another major area where these parties differ. Republicans tend to focus on balancing environmental protection with business growth. They believe too many regulations could hurt the economy. Democrats often push for stronger environmental regulations to combat climate change, even if it means stricter laws for businesses. These are just a few examples of the many issues where Democrats and Republicans hold differing views. Your voice, your choice. Get informed and get involved. So, which party is right for you? Are you a fan of lower taxes? Or are you rooting for more government involvement? Wait, or maybe you just want more national holidays. Whatever floats your boat. Long story short, Democrats generally support a larger role for the government, especially when it comes to social services and the environment, while Republicans prefer limited government, individual freedom, and lower taxes. But remember, not all Democrats and Republicans agree with every point of their party. Everyone's got their own take. And then there are third parties. But let's save that for another video. Maybe they'll even get invited to the next presidential debate. Understanding the differences between Democrats and Republicans is crucial for navigating today's complex political landscape. It's not about choosing a side blindly, but about becoming an informed and engaged citizen. Read news from various sources, talk to people with different viewpoints, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Remember, politics is not a spectator sport. Now that you know the basics, you can dive deeper into the world of politics. Find out what issues matter most to you and learn about both sides before making your decision. And remember, no matter which side you lean toward, it's important to stay informed and get involved. Your voice and your vote have the power to shape the future. So, stay informed, stay engaged, and help to write the next chapter of the American story. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, keep learning, and maybe next time we'll talk about a third party after all. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and leave your questions in the comments. As always, stay curious with Kali,